Hello world! I wanted to make a quick video and talk about the concept of compound interest. The conversation came up yesterday when I was catching up with a good old friend and we were talking about just basic life struggles that we were going through. And specifically, we got to the topic of gaming addiction. He explained to me that he would spend a lot of time just gaming, and if he wasn't gaming, all he would think about was games. It was at this point that I told him about how me and my family used to game all the time. But then as I went through life, I got deterred from gaming. When he asked me what deterred me, I explained it wasn't adding good compound interest. Now, my friend Joe knew nothing about compound interest, so that's where I'm going to be starting. I think most people get introduced to compound interest when they want to do financials or retirement, and I think a simple YouTube search will prove that most of compound interest is about financing. The basic principle is really simple. Is if you have, let's say, a principal of £100 and then invest that for 10%, in the first year, you'll get 110%. But then over time, not only your principal will be compounding, but also your interest. So in this case, the £10 difference will also get a 10% interest the following year. And this is the way I described to him how your inputs do not grow linearly. So even though you're investing, let's say, £100 per year, your interest of compounding will not grow linearly, but instead over time will grow exponentially. The bit I feel like I do a little bit differently is that I explain to him that this concept does not just apply financially, but compound interest actually applies to anything we do. I'm talking fitness, learning, relationships, and in this case, gaming. At the start, you're going to think you're not improving very much, but over time, the more and more you try, you get better and better at the game. However, the issue I had with video games was that any compound interest you gain only relates to that specific game you're playing. So even though it's very, very fun, outside that video game, none of the skills matter. And then I gave him a very small example about fitness and video games. 1 hour of video games will make you better at the video game, but then once that hour is over and you're outside that video game, there's no osmosis effect of improvement. Whereas if you go to the gym for an hour, you come back, maybe you eat better because you felt motivated. Maybe you have a shower and groom yourself a little bit better than you would have because you feel good about yourself. And obviously another basic example is the fact that if you did strength training throughout the whole day, you will burn more calories. And this is when I explained to him, with the limited resources of time that we have, I want to do activities that not only gives me output when I'm doing the activity, but also has rippling effect throughout my days, weeks, months, and years. The conversation ended with him explaining that I never quite understood why I didn't like gaming, but you just worded it perfectly. And I really hope, and he had a great learning experience from that, and I hope this audio helps someone else as well.